Kenzie DeHaan. I am a loan officer with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation.
And how long have you been in the lending industry?
So I have been in mortgage since November of 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of experience there.
Yeah. Love it.
What made you decide to become a loan officer?
So it's actually a really funny story how I got into doing this. My prior trade was doing hair, and anybody that has a hair lady, you make really, really good friends, almost like family sometimes. So I did the same woman's hair for over 10 years, and she would come in and she was in the business. She would always say, "You belong in this business. You belong in this business." And I would just kind of shrug it off. I do hair. And she came in one day and she was like, "Hey, I'm doing my dream. I'm opening a business of my own, a branch of my own, and I'm going to be the branch manager." And I mean, at this point, she's totally my family. I know her children. I know her parents, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. Like, that's amazing." And she said, "So how much to leave your job?"
Oh, wow.
And I left. So
nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly think that if someone came to Kenzie and she was helping them and they really needed a haircut, she'd probably do it.
Some of my clients are my
there you go.
Yeah, like the lady I told you in the story that I did her hair for. I mean, to this day, I still do her hair like in my office at home. Like there's half of my office is a hair studio, and then the other half, if you just walk like 6 inches into the other half, then you're in my office. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So, like, if you need a haircut, then you might also decide you want to buy a home.
Right. It typically happens, yes, that exact way. I start with hair, and then it's
then
like,
you just
okay, well, I need a home, or my mom needs a home, or I try not to do hair anymore. I always tell people I'm retired from hair, but you have those. I mean, when you're attached to your hair person,
So do you ever get like, I don't know, no offense, but when I think of loan officers, I think of math, and I think of like it's a little on the dry side. So tell me a funny loan officer story and tell me where the spice in your job is.
The spice. I really try and come from a place of non-judgment, and but funny things do happen, and you hear, just like in hair where people tell you their whole life story, I transitioned into a job where people tell you their whole life story. And I've just heard the funniest things, all the way from one time, gosh, I hope he never sees this. One time I had a borrower tell me that he had a hoax put on him, like black magic, which I am the number. He was destined to come to me because I'm like the person that's like, tell me more. This is real. But he was like running from this hoax that his cousins had put on him, and couldn't get hired because the FBI called his employer and put him on a list, and it was just crazy. And the things you hear in my business are just.
Did he get a loan?
No.
Maybe it was a real hoax.
Yeah.
Okay. So your office is in South Ogden, but does that mean you can only do loans in Weber County?
No. I am licensed in Utah, but my branch is licensed in several states, so we can do loans all over the place. But anywhere in Utah is kind of where I put my focus at the moment. So I'm a native Utahn myself.
Where were you born?
I was born in Ogden.
Have you ever lived outside of Ogden?
I've lived in the surrounding cities of Ogden. So like Farmington, Layton, Syracuse, Clearfield, Ogden. So
And would you ever want to leave
Utah?
or Ogden?
I don't think so. I love Utah. Like I love Utah. I should stop saying how much I love Utah because people I mean, I want people to be here, but events like Snowbird has an event every year, Oktoberfest, and that used to kind of be a bit more low key. You know, we went last year and it was insane. Body to body, people walking, just, you know, not low key anymore.
For sure. For sure.
But nowhere has snow like Utah, and I wait all year long for the snow. So I said maybe if I ever was going to move Colorado, but because it's like Utah, but they've got a whole bunch of one-ways there. So
That's the deal breaker.
well, yeah, when you've been in situations visiting where you're on the wrong side of the street, I'm sure you get used to it. But Utah just doesn't have as many one-way roads.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're staying.
Well, so she hasn't been down to Salt Lake lately, I guess.
Also
I
true.
used to work in Salt Lake, and there's been more than a couple of occasions where I've gone the wrong way on a one-way street. And you know, everybody is very quick to tell you that you're doing something wrong. It doesn't take long.
Yes.
We're a very friendly state, so they're just trying to help you out.
Right.
Okay, so loan lending can be spicy. That's what I've learned today, and I'm excited to know that.
Yeah.
When you're not lending, what do you do?
When I'm not lending, sorry, a thing just popped up. When I am not lending, I am, well, in the winter, I'm snowboarding. In the summer, I'm in the mountains, where I like to play ukulele, guitar, sing, anything artistic. And lately I've been doing a lot of baking. I love baking. So
We know who to have bring the desserts at our next party.
yeah, seriously, tell me to.
What are your pet peeves? What are some things that get you either in lending or in life or whatever?
Okay, let me spit out this gum. You guys are not going to believe this. I've had a pet peeve that has followed me my entire life, and this is absolutely ridiculous, so I don't know why I'm saying this, but when you ask pet peeves, people are like, oh, when people take 2 parking spots or don't walk their cart back, you know. Me, I've always had a pet peeve. When I was younger, I would watch the TV and commercials would come on, and there was always, when I was younger, a commercial for Trix cereal, and I know. Yes. And the Trix rabbit would be chasing the children to get his tricks. And it has always my entire life bothered me that they will not give him like his tricks.
Oh, it's the sharing. It's the lack of sharing that gets you. It's not the fact
thing. It's his. Like he's the Trix rabbit, you know. It's not the Trix kids, it's the Trix rabbit, you know. So I just could never, you know.
I love how that could have gone so many ways. You could have gone with like giant rabbit chasing children, and you could have gone with like cereal eating rabbit, but no, it's like
they won't share with him his
share.
own thing. Yeah.
What jerks? Okay, I see it. I get it.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree.
Yeah. So that's like been like a main pet peeve, but you know, I think another pet peeve I would say of mine is just inconsiderate. Is that a word? Inconsiderate, you know, people that don't take other people's feelings and thoughts or into account. That's a pet peeve of mine. You know, I love it. I love what we do.
So do you feel like you change lives, Kenzie?
I do. And I feel like this is one other career I could have gone into besides doing hair. that where you really truly get to see that impact. It's not quite as immediate, right, as doing hair. Somebody walks in, you watch them leave an hour to 3 hours later glowing, just stoked about who they are, and it's immediate gratification, right? But in mortgage, it's like you get to help people make their first purchase, the biggest purchase that they have made to date and might ever make, you know, and you get to help people walk through. I love when I get to see people down, feeling like it's not possible for them, and then creating a path, right? Where it's totally possible. I mean, we're all hardest on ourselves. We all get down on who we are or think that we're somehow lacking, you know, and even the best qualified borrowers have that same thought and feeling. So it's really cool to like watch people walk through that. And likewise to doing hair, the relationships and the building there is still huge. So I get to keep and maintain friends for life. So super cool.
You really do get to see people's dirty laundry, and you know their deep dark secrets.
Right.
Oh yeah, and they tell you. You know, there's sometimes you want to go, oh no.
Sometimes they tell you, sometimes they don't, and I'm like,
Well, yes.
why did you not tell me that? Come
Yes.
But then you find out anyway.
When you're doing, you know, when you're taking care of their money, I'm amazed at how many people I'd say they'll tell me something and I'll go, did you tell your lender that? Oh no, do you think I should? Yeah, I think your lender needs to know you just bought a car.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Or I've had somebody like say that they got a new job.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
me
my
too. Yes.
Oh, I need to know who your guest star in the background is.
This is Foster. Come here, Bessie.
Oh,
What
hi,
kind of,
you are so handsome.
He's a good boy.
what kind of a dog is he?
He's an Australian Shepherd.
Ah, I love his eyes.
They're my favorite. They're my favorite ever.
Yes. So loyal. You know,
Yeah. But you do all kinds of loans.
tons.
That's
All
nice.
sorts.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Kenzie, your contact information is going to be at the end of this presentation. What is your favorite way, though, for people to get a hold of you?
I love calls. I love
Okay.
taking calls. But nowadays we have these phones that say spam likely or block calls that you don't know immediately. So I think, you know, text and email is great as well. Really, I just try to mirror the kind of communication that my borrowers like. So if you're not a phone call person, then don't call me, you know, then text or whatever works better for you. I'm adaptable when it comes to that. So grants though, I mean, almost every county has a grant. So, you know, the income requirements are kind of the biggest caveat in a lot of those. And a lot of the other ones do have, you know, credit restrictions or require that you be a first-time home buyer. There's a lot of programs out there now geared and focused towards teachers, firefighters, policemen. We've got VA has amazing benefits. And I also offer $1,000 credit to any nurse working medical field, any teacher, any policeman, any VA, any fireman. So.
And I understand you have a lot of experience with helping people who, like you said, may think they can't buy a home.
Yes.
And you have been able to make that happen.
Yes. I love helping people that don't think it's possible. I mean, I feel like that's where the most relationship building comes in, the most gratitude, the most grace. Like, I mean, it's just, and I live for what I do. For me, it's about relationships. It's not about a payday. So building relationships where I feel comfortable and confident and helping others feel comfortable and confident and creating just long-lasting relationship is by far the most important to me.
Mm-hmm. And Sarah, you've done business with Kenzie.
I can vouch. Kenzie's helped me with a few clients. And just the attention she gives them and the communication even that she has between herself and the clients and me as the agent trying to make these situations happen is just, you know, you can't beat it. It's great. And Tracie, the thing that you really appreciate about Kenzie is that she comes to the closing and she can bring the party almost, not quite as hard as you and I can.
Well, I mean, she bakes, so you know, I mean, she can bring
That's
that part of the
true.
party, and I think the biggest party that she's bringing is somebody in a home.
True, very true. But she's fun to
Very
celebrate with too. So
nice.
every bit of it from start to finish is fun with Kenzie. Another strength that Kenzie has is that I've been able to introduce her to a borrower who maybe doesn't hit that 580 yet, and she is so good at finding ways to get them there, and then helping find ways to get their debt to income where it needs to be so they can be borrowers. So I would highly encourage anybody who is close or who doesn't know where they're at all to call Kenzie, because she can do that too.
Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely call me if you are credit challenged. Even if you are not credit challenged, I mean, I'm great at creating a roadmap and sticking with you, and you know, creating a real and authentic environment. That's where I thrive. So, and I genuinely love helping people and what I do. So, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Kenzie. We really appreciate you spending time and helping us to, you know, get to know a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, it's been fun.